This training video will walk you through the settings and general setup of the food and beverage and catering tools in your PlanningPod venue management account. From our home screen, we'll access our system settings by clicking on your name and then clicking on Settings from the drop-down menu. Once under the account settings, we're going to scroll down to the Application Setup area, and we're going to look at the three different categories for setting up food and beverage items in PlanningPod. Let's go ahead and start with the basic food and beverage setup, where we'll add ingredients, serving sizes, meal types, and some other important information. Once we're in the food and beverage setup screen, we can begin adding an ingredient list. Add an ingredient by simply clicking the plus sign. You can save and close if you're adding only a single item, or save and add another if you're entering multiple items. The next category that we can add and adjust is going to be food characteristics. These are items that you'll be able to sort and filter by within both your menus or in your food and beverage packages, as well as when you're building templates for your food and beverage packages. You can add additional characteristics, or you can remove the items that don't apply to your specific organization. The next section is adding or editing serving styles. You can add additional serving styles or remove these. Add by clicking plus, remove by choosing the drop-down, and deleting or editing that item. The next option on an individual item level is going to be serving sizes. We've pre-populated your account with most of the serving sizes that you might need, but you can again adjust these, remove them, add them. The next area that can be very specific depending on the organization that you're working with and your specific setup might be a prep area. So you may not have all of the same prep areas we have here, but we've put in some basics for you. And you can again add additional prep areas, edit or remove the existing prep areas. Over on the right side, you'll see the setup for packages. The first option is going to be your meal types. And meal types are going to inform the way that you can sort and filter items in your BEOs, as well as how you can sort and filter items when you're building food and beverage packages. Again, you can add or edit or remove any of the meal types. The last option is going to be order types. Now, we realize that many of our users do have different types of catering that they use in their businesses. So you can adjust these again to fit your needs. So if you do not offer drop-off catering, you can go ahead and remove that. Now that we have completed the first step in setting up your food and beverage items, let's go ahead and move on to step number 2. You can access the second step in this process under your account settings or by clicking Return to Food and Beverage Items. Let's go ahead and go back through our account settings so I can show you where that is. It's going to be the second option here that says Food and Beverage Categories and Items. As soon as we click in here, you'll notice that there's a lot of information that we can fill out. So as you're adding items, we're truly adding individual menu items that can be built into packages later. On the left side of your screen, you'll see the different categories that you can use to categorize your food and beverage items. You have food categories, beverage categories, as well as equipment categories, and you can add and edit these to fit your specific organizational needs. On the right side of your screen, you'll see your individual food and beverage items. You can quickly edit these by clicking on Actions and then Edit. And under the Edit menu, you'll be able to edit the name. You can set items as active, or you can turn them off if they're seasonal items that are only available during a certain time period. You can enter in your wholesale cost for this item, as well as the menu price. You'll go ahead and categorize each food item. You can enter a SKU number if that applies. And you can even enter a serving size so that it's very clear what's included. Characteristics will allow you to sort and filter. And then you can have the different serving styles that are available for this individual item. You'll notice that under each of these that you can edit or modify the list. You'll have a link that will take you back to the setup screen that we just reviewed previously. You can also add in an item description. When you're finished editing, just click Save and Close to move on. Adding a new item is as simple as saying Add Item. choosing the item type, and adding the item. Once an item has been added, you can go even deeper and build out the recipe and the prep instructions. You'll see at the very top, I can add or adjust my times and yield. I can add in the ingredients that are populated from my ingredient list, as well as the measurements of each of those ingredients. So I can say I need 1 1/4 cups of flour in order to make my pasta. And I could say I need it to be sifted and click Save. So I've got my ingredient list. I can go ahead and note which prep areas are going to be used as a part of this recipe. And then I can even add my prep instructions. You can click Return to Food and Beverage Items to get back to your main menu. And once you've uploaded all of your menu items, you're ready to take a look at the display settings for the Food and Beverage tool. Once again, you can access that by going back to your account settings or by clicking on the link from the Food and Beverage items. The display settings allow you to set what the default will be for viewing in both the client portal and within PDFs or emails. So if, for example, you don't want to show the package markup or discount in the client portal, but you do want to show it in a PDF, you have control over those default settings here. This concludes our review of the food and beverage setup in your account settings. We have additional resources that walk through creating templates, pulling food and beverage packages into leads and events, as well as communicating financial information and food data into banquet event orders, proposals, and invoices in our Help Center. You can go to support.planningpod.com, email us at support@planningpod.com with questions, or reach out to me directly at training@planningpod.com. Thanks so much for joining us, and have a great day.